There's obviously a technical explanation, and the geotechnical experts are going to investigate or have investigated, and they've determined what the mechanism of failure of these facilities was and how those failures initiated. We have to bear in mind that these facilities were designed according to the standards of the day, and they were built and operated according to how the requirements and risks were understood. To me, there's two important factors that we need to consider relating to people. The first one is that I think there was a lack of communication with respect to how those engineering requirements needed to be applied during the construction and operation of the facilities. And the second one is generally an overconfidence perhaps on the part of us in the industry with respect to risk and what the requirements for safe facilities were. Well, we've lost the initiative a little bit, haven't we? Our overconfidence has caused our stakeholders to lose confidence in our assessment of risk. So they're telling us what to do. The three things that are underway right now is we're assessing the condition of the whole inventory of tailing storage facilities to see that they meet current standards. We're assigning suitably qualified personnel to make sure that these assessments are undertaken and that whatever remedial measures are designed appropriately and implemented in order to address these risks and bring them up to code. And the third factor is that the responsibility for these structures has been escalated up to the executive level. It's important to note that the properties of these facilities are really the result of actions taken by those building and operating them, rather than the result of the inspection that happens afterwards. We really need to improve our communication of the risks and the requirements around these facilities if we're to avoid creating any new problems. So the industry is doing several things, and I'm confident that they're going to make a difference. We're addressing the likelihood of failure and reducing it by retiring those facilities that are no longer needed. We're looking at the condition and how we operate our active facilities and making changes so that we bring them up to code, and changing practices perhaps by eliminating excess water that's been stored on some of those facilities. We're also, I think, paying a lot more attention to how we build new facilities so that they're more robust. The second thing that we're doing is addressing the consequences of failure should it occur, and those consequences are being evaluated, and mitigation plans and emergency action plans are being put in place and communicated with any communities that are downstream. We are communicating progress that's being made in those evaluations and remedial actions, and are communicating to our stakeholders the condition of these facilities in an effort to regain their confidence. The reason I'm confident that we can make this happen is that the mining industry has demonstrated over the last several years that we can effectively change the behavior of our people and the results through implementation, for example, of health and safety programs. So when we identify and correct problems as we encounter them, we know that we can eliminate serious accidents.